Hello, everybody. Started that a little bit later. You go and put out a fire. Apologies. But good morning, all. How is everybody doing? We're continuing on with the Lost today. I've been doing pretty good. Got cheese balls? Nice. Cheese balls are awesome. Good to hear, good to hear. You guys will need to get used to literally being up 5 minutes ago. Rough. Sorry to hear that. I have my coffee, and we're ready to start playing the Lost. Alrighty. So, the whole joke behind the topic today is, you ever ask... Fair. Today's topic is more of a joke. I was a biology major in university, and if you ever want to give a biology major an aneurysm, just ask them about mushrooms. Good lord, Valkyrie. Because mushrooms are very weird. Fungi in general are very weird. They don't really follow a lot of, like, the normal laws of, like, what we consider things to be living and not living. I'm winning. Woo. Winning is good. Oh yeah, they're super weird. I love them. They're super cool. I think one of the largest living organisms on the planet is a mushroom in a cave, and it's like literally like a kilometer long or some shit. You know, I just fed you. What do you want? I need to change out some of those commands. That is something else I need to do today. But yes. Also, I played Silk Song. You rat bastard. I have been waiting for that game to come out for so long. Quote. Do I have one in there that's supposed to give you a quote? It's enabled, it didn't do it. That's weird. I don't know. I will fight with that in a little bit. I will find my own quote. Fair. Ah, yes, the Hierophant. Such a useful card for me. So it'll tell you quote 1. Guess you haven't made any quotes. You guys are just playing with the quote bot now. I will put some together and I will fix that. But it will not be on stream. So I apologize, that command might just be off the list for right now. I don't know much, personally, just that they grow mycelium. I think that's how you spell it. Which is almost like string and primordium form if the weather is good for it. Yeah. So one thing that's really interesting about mushrooms is, like, technically the fruiting body the fruiting body that we see from most mushrooms, i.e. like the mushroom cap, is only a very small portion of the actual mushroom, which is wild to me. Because most of the mushrooms, so like whenever you see like a ring of toadstools or whatever you want to call them, most of those fruiting bodies are actually part of the same mycelial network, so technically the same organism. Oh, get the fuck out of here, sir. They are super strange, but they're super cool too. So like one of the biggest things, and one of the coolest things to me at least, is how they can technically send a close equivalent to neurological signals. So like, you know how we have like neurons and a spinal cord, and electricity gets, fuck you. Yes, they are. But essentially, with that fungal network, it can essentially send messages to itself. Like, it can send messages to other parts of the system, which is crazy. It's functionally a plant, but it can send literal messages to itself. And it can, like, warn... So the fungi that you're talking about is called a slime mold. So a slime mold is a fungus, and they used it to actually make Japan's railway system or subway system more efficient. Like, that was part of the thing that they did with it, is they actually used it to make a subway system. I can't remember. It wasn't like a crazy amount of efficiency up, but it was enough that they implemented it. Quartz forms from relatively high pressure silica. I don't know if it's silica dioxide, but I know it's silica. There's a whole video on it of them using it to basically make Japan's infrastructure for the subway more efficient. Basically, they mapped out all of Japan's... Would it be able to form in my world? Oh, very likely. Man, Little Horn, I'm really getting sick of you. Well, I'm not gonna pick up one of those things. And that's just 3 damage, so yes. Yeah, so like they had like a whole like mycelial network that they were using to essentially map out how this fungus would find its way around the network of a miniature of Japan's train tunnels. And it ended up being really, really, really good at it. Basically, they'd put food out. Man, I've had so many of these bomb doors now. I've had 2 in a row. It essentially was so good at it that it was more efficient than the way that they had originally planned the architecture. So they actually changed it. So I'm just going to use that and get it out of the frickin' picture. Hello, Daniel. How are you doing, my man? ¿Cómo estás? Poets are insane. Yeah. My favorite poet is Edgar Allan Poe. If, you know, my Twitch name wasn't also, you know, a reference to that too. Dude, basically, if humans think of a way to do something, i.e. let's say air conditioning. Proper, true air conditioning. Guess what? Planet Earth has already done it. To be fair, though, Nico Machiavelli. Was Machiavelli a poet? I thought he was just, like, an advisor of sorts. Yeah, shortly, Lamau. Okay. But he didn't, like, make a career out of it. It's not like he was, like, Shakespeare. Or Edgar Allan Poe. He was 90% just a diplomat. Diplomat, quote-unquote. Psychotic warlord. But he himself wasn't the warlord, so he was okay. He just advised the warlords on how to be better warlords. You know, the one thing that makes me laugh a lot is, like, when you look at certain, shit, damn, fuck. Yeah, dead. Oh, disconnected my controller. God, what the fuck was his name? Oh, one of my favorite things is, like, have any of you guys ever read The Art of War by Sun Tzu? Or heard any of his quotes? Nope, but I've seen Technoblade videos. I've read some of it. the thing about the Art of War that makes me laugh so much is just how, like, essentially this man wrote a book for, like, emperors and stuff so that, you know, they had some understanding of the world. But the thing that's so sad about it and so funny about it is you can just tell that this man is just trying to make common sense things. He's just trying to basically state common sense things so that people of privilege can understand them. Like, one of my favorite things is, like, I can't remember what the exact quote is, but he's essentially saying, oh, by the way, you need to feed your army. And you're going to need to carry a lot of fucking food with you because horses eat more than they can carry. Which is just, like, it's so funny to me, because, like, to me, that's just, that's just common sense. Like, that just makes sense. Right? But, like, so much of it is just him going... Yeah, like, so much of it is just him going, you cannot march an army across the country and not have, like, an insane an absolutely insane amount of food. Like, so much of it was just people need to eat and they eat a lot of food. So therefore, you need to have, like, an entire supply, like, train to make sure that these people can continue to eat. And so many emperors at that time in that time period, and, like, so many, like, rulers in that time period just did not understand. They were just like, what do you mean I can't just march people halfway across the world and they'll just survive? It's like, oh, I wanted to re-roll that and I got talking, so I just picked up a useless fucking item. Retro. But yes, back to the fungus. They are extremely interesting. Like, I've seen some people talk about how a lot of fungal growths they're almost genetically identical to each other, if you can even call them genetically identical, because, like, fungus just grows in such a funky, like, awkwardly weird way. Fuck you and your curses, thank you. Because it does have a genetic code. Like, fungi do have genetic codes, but they're odd. Like, that's the best way I can put it. They're weird. Oh yeah, no, I've seen a whole bunch of those where it's like, it talks a lot about, like, there's a lot of things in color theory that talk about how, like, humans just do not have the, like, the ability to view a lot of that spectronomy. Yes, but it's also, like, organized in kind of like an awkward way, if I remember correctly. Because they still have cells, like, they still have mycelial cells. But even then, they're just weird. Because, like, would you say that a fungus is a living thing? The same way that, like, a plant is, or an animal is. I would personally. Okay, and that's the thing. A lot of people do. But there's a lot of things that, like, by technical definition, it doesn't really follow. Like, it does. Like, it does follow a lot of those rules of, like, what considers it alive. But there's some parts of, like, mycelium that just, like, they don't technically classify as, like, a living thing. Yeah, no problem. Holy water pog. Holy water's okay. It's better now, that's for sure. Only problem is it doesn't work on flying creatures. Ooh, I might just fucking be dead. I have no damage. Yeah, I'm just dead. I didn't even see that coming at me. Whoa! Well, I'm fucked. Can we get out of this alive? Nope. Oh no, you get the corn flies fucking out of here. Nope. Nope, nope. But yeah. Fungi are like really, really crazy. They're super cool. It wouldn't work. Simply because there's too many, there's too many different sets of genetics and cell structures in there to do that safely. You wouldn't be able to create, and our brain wouldn't be like built to handle it. Like, that's the thing too that a lot of people don't understand. Is like, if you suddenly gained a tail, there would be a mismatch in your head because your brain just wouldn't know. Remember, chat, you are loved. Thank you, Gymnast. Welcome for a second. Gymnast completely screwed up my train of thought there. Good job, Gymnast. No, so like that wouldn't really work. Your brain would eventually adapt, but sometimes your brain like just literally doesn't have the ability to like it doesn't have the hardware essentially to be able to process that information. So like it's a much different thing than just like it's like putting hardware in a system that just doesn't have the software to support it. Right? It's like me putting a bunch of like really, really old machine parts or like really, really old like computer parts into a brand new motherboard and expecting it to work. And there's a good chance it won't. It already is. Dude, it's not the future. They do it now. It's called CRISPR. It's extremely, like, extremely bad and, like, very immoral. So the thing with humans having tails, or a subspecies of human having tails, is none of our subspecies had tails because we're descended from chimps. Chimps have never really had tails in their evolutionary tree, unless you go back like a really, really long time. People don't talk about how smart orangutans are. Dude, orangutans and chimps are super intelligent. Also, fun fact, did you know that there's a tribe of chimps living? I can't remember in which, and like where they are living. But they've started using tools in warfare. They've started using spears to kill each other. That too, they also do not talk about how smart ravens and crows are. Or any of the corvid family, for that matter. Not just ravens and crows, blue jays as well. Magpies, gray jays. All of them are extremely intelligent. Alright. I was with you for a little while, Daniel, and then you just lost me completely. And I know that's on purpose. Trust the vision.
2 of diamonds.
Yeah, like I was saying, like, that is both really cool and really terrifying that there are chimps out there that have started legitimately using weapons in warfare. Not even just, like, weapons to, like, hunt or, like feed themselves or anything. They immediately turn to, like, using weapons in warfare. Like, trying to kill each other. Learned that a sharp stick. They do. Just woke up, honestly. Well, welcome. They are currently in the Stone Age. That is not technically true. Because they are... I guess they are, yeah. They are technically in the Stone Age. Oh, yeah, no. Warfare first. Well, and see, like, that's the thing, though, is warfare, like, on, like, a more relativistic scale of natural selection, warfare is pretty common. You're just fighting over resources. You're fighting over the ability to continue reproducing and staying alive. So, like, that's the thing, right? Of course there's going to be warfare. They need to fight over resources. They want to continue living. They want to be able to eat. They want to be able to reproduce. Also, can I just say that, like, I know that we talk about... Like, I said, like, I wanted to talk about, like, mushrooms and, like, that sort of thing, like fungi. Can I just say, the Last of Us with their cordyceps fungus zombies is probably one of the most accurate portrayals I think I've ever seen of, like, what a theoretical zombie virus, quote-unquote, would look like. Because, for those of you who are unaware... And they mention it in the actual, like, show and video game. Cordyceps are an actual thing. Yes, they already exist in ants and a multitude of other insects. It's not just ants. There are multitudes of different insects that suffer from like a cordyceps infection. And really, truly, it just and like they said it quite literally, it just boils down to the fact that the cordyceps cannot survive in our body because of the temperature. Yeah, no, I know, and it's very true. Like, it is actually one of the most accurate portrayals of, like... What new parasite? There's a lot of parasites. I can't use Guppy's Paw, but now I've touched it, so I have a chance of becoming Guppy. No. I have not seen this thing. I have no idea what it is. To be fair, though, I'm also not part of the US. So, as much as they'd probably like me to be. Oh my god, the Lost is stressful. Jesus Christ. A cosmic? I have no idea what you mean by a cosmic virus. Or a cosmetic virus. Sorry, not a cosmic virus. I was like, what? Cosmetic virus. That's not really a thing. A cosmetic virus is not really a thing. As someone who does actually, like, have a fair amount of knowledge in biology, a cosmetic virus is not. Just... A virus will always do something to you, and because a virus is a detrimental, parasitic in relationship, essentially, a virus will always kill its hosts, essentially. I don't know if you guys know, like, the 3 different types of symbiosis out there. Like, what the 3 different types of symbiosis are. Viruses fall under the parasite section of symbiosis. Genuinely do not know what you're talking about. Yeah, so, like, that's another thing that a lot of people don't, like, think about. Is, like, in any sort of zombie apocalypse, whether it's, like, a Last of Us Yeah, it would be over in 2 weeks because, like, they just rot away. Two weeks exposed to air. Corpse doesn't last very long. Honestly, my favorite one is just go out to a lake that can't be walked across, find an island, sit on said island. Zombies can't fucking swim. Oh, good. How in the fuck am I dodging all of this? Woo! Oh yeah, 110%. If we got World War Z zombies, it'd be fucking over. Immediately. Like, that's a whole other ball game of scary. There's a difference between zombies and zombies. I gotta find a way to teleport out of that. Yeah, no, it's 110% true. It's like like that's the one thing that The Last of Us really like bugged me about, is that in the winter they've got like all these this zombie horde walking around, and it's like, how the fuck does that even work? Because the zombies would need to have an internal temperature to keep the mycelium alive. So does that mean that they're still burning they're still burning calories? But that means if they don't get calories like much more readily, because they're not wearing any sort of protection to keep them like from like being damaged or like burning up way more energy in the cold. They don't have fat stores to be able to like insulate themselves, right? So like even in like a lot of the winter scenes in like that show, it really bugged me, because I was like, they shouldn't be there. Like, I feel like a zombie apocalypse in that sense would almost be like seasonal. Like, the zombies would be migratory, right? They'd follow the shift, like the ebb and flow of those seasons. So if you went north and it got really cold, the zombies would need to stay out of the cold, right? And I understand why they do it for cinema and for video games. Like, it gives you a different environment to look at. It looks pretty. Like there's a lot of reasons as to why they do it, and I totally get why. I'm not shitting on the game for that. But just one of my thoughts that would have been something really interesting for them to talk about would have maybe been how certain zombies would have either gone completely underground, which could have made a whole other really scary plotline, where like the zombies start tunneling, or they start like learning how to hide underground to stay safe from the cold, almost entering like a half hibernation state, right? And then summer pops back up and you have no idea where the fucking zombies are, because they've just been like roaming around underground. So like a place that you thought was secure at one point could suddenly be like absolutely chocked full of random shit because they've just been underground moving slowly. Also, I was just gonna say, like, straight up, The Last of Us probably has one of the most accurate like, ways that a zombie could happen, but also one of the most accurate in terms of, like, science. Like, the fact that everything got spread via flour from, like, a specific area of the world where the virus originated, or where the mycelium spores originated. Genius. Like just as like someone as like writing, that's genius. Like, that is so well thought out and looked through. Like, whoever was doing the writing on like the more scientific side of it, they did an absolutely amazing job on it. Like, there's some like quirks here and there that I'm kind of like, I don't really like that, but whatever. Because for the most part, they just fucking nail it. No, and like, that's the thing. Like, the idea is so close to reality that it's genuinely scary. Like, that's one thing that they don't teach you about, like, or that, like, a lot of people don't talk about. If you have a biology degree, a lot of people are like, oh, it's because you like animals. Yes, I'm also now absolutely terrified of our planet. Like, getting a biology degree is like 101 how to make sure that you absolutely are terrified of every, like, mundane thing. Yeah, fungi are one genetic mutation away from being able to literally wipe out humanity. And the scariest part, it might already be there. Like, that's the scarier part. That mutation might have already happened. We just don't fucking know it yet because no one's ran into that set of spores. No, we don't need a crazy scientist. Like, it's literally... It's not crazy scientist material, dude. It's literally... Yeah, you never know it developed until someone got infected, and that's the terrifying part. Because an infection like that wouldn't spread slowly. Fungal infections are scary because they don't show symptoms, they don't show symptoms, they don't show symptoms, and the entire time you're still spreading it. Like, that's the thing that's so scary about them, is like, don't show symptoms for like a crazy amount of time, and then like out of nowhere, hello, Daisy Chain. I am not really able to chat in the way that you are talking. I'm not able to type very easily with this game, so apologies if someone wants to just let them know I'm not really able to type. But yes, this is also the game that... Where's Panda when I need him? Ooh, fuck. Yeah, exactly. Like, the largest, like, the biggest thing that would show us how, whether someone was infected, is the smell. Because fungal infections smell. But even then, we don't know because, as far as I know, cordyceps don't really have a smell because they're cordyceps. They're internal. Like, the only other, like, really, like, common one that I've seen that's like, oh, this could be a zombie virus, quote-unquote zombie virus, is, like a prion disease. Or prion disease, however you want to say the name. But even then, prion diseases are... They're misfolded... Fuck off. They're misfolded proteins. Go for it. You're here to solicit me. I will just get rid of you very quickly. Ooh, fuck. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I'm dead. Man, I can't believe that the first item I got last time was C-section, man. Like, that broke the game wide open. I could have very easily made it to the beast. I don't know if you read it, Daisy, but I said I do not want to be solicited, so goodbye. Me too. I was guessing it. Are you talking about yesterday's stream? Yes, I'm talking about yesterday's stream, Isaac. Oh no! 4.5 volt! No! This is like one of my favorite items. Oh, so did I. I knew it was coming. Yeah, you have a shit ton of streams open and that you're soliciting. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I understand that you're trying to make some money, but no offense intended, a lot of the people that do that are just, at this point in time, are just using AI generated shit. Yeah, that's not how it works. That's the funniest part too. Like, yeah, if you have good art, people will come to you. No, that's not how it works. If you're entertaining and or funny and or you play games that people like to watch is why people come to you. Or you play games that have a cult following, like Binding of Isaac or Cult of the Lamb. Ooh, fuck me. Well, and like, that's the thing, is like... Yeah, that's the thing, too. Sorry. I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, you kind of gotta make a name for yourself. It's true. Oh, fuck me. The sperm got me. Just kill me. Just kill me. Yeah, no. I think a lot of those people, yeah, they weren't really appreciated until after their time. I think... Though Da Vinci was more, like, not appreciated because he was just a nutcase, I think is more the reason as to why he wasn't appreciated. Like, he was genuinely crazy. Or he was, like, thought to be crazy at that time period. Absolute genius. Like, he was very, very intelligent and most definitely, like, on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. Oh, host hat. Fuck yeah. But that's not really the point. Oh my god, that's a school bag. Oh yeah, no, Da Vinci was nuts. Like, absolutely batshit insane. But also really, really smart. Like, that man definitely used the line between sanity and genius as a jump rope. And there's a... Well, and that's the thing. Machiavelli was most definitely either sociopathic or psychopathic. One of the two. Just the way that he viewed the world completely lacked any form of empathy or understanding of the human condition. I would honestly state he was probably closer to a psychopath than a sociopath. Because sociopaths tend to not be very, like, social or good at, like, stating what they want. And psychopaths tend to be very social and very, very good at getting what they want. Kind of, I think. Because, like, the biggest thing with psychopaths is they crave some sort of emotional release. And the way that they usually get that is by harming others, whether it's emotionally, physically, psychologically, whatever it is. So here's the thing. It's why when you look at the brain scans of CEOs and the brain scans of serial killers, they're almost identical. Sociopaths can't feel a damn thing. It's not so much that sociopaths, as far as I understand, it's not so much that sociopaths don't feel anything. It's that they have Machiavellianism, yeah. Guppy's tail. I know that 100% for a fact. Yeah, and like that's the thing. I've gotten a chance to talk to people like that when I was going to university. And one of the really cool things that a lot of people, like, don't talk about, but I find super duper interesting, is there are people out there who share a lot of traits with people that are either psychopaths or sociopaths, but because they can feel empathy or sympathy, they don't technically fall under sociopath or psychopath, but they still interpret emotions differently than most people. Because that's one thing that I learned about myself. So for me personally, most people have, you know, their set of emotions, and their I'm fucking dead again. And their emotions are like one or the other, right? So like you can have like I'm angry, which then anger can transition into hurt, and hurt can transition into sad. Right, like that's usually how emotions work, is it's like I'm hurt, and then there's like a branching choice of whether you go from hurt to anger or hurt to sadness. Right, and you make a conscious decision. In your head, you make a conscious decision. It's a snap decision, but you make a conscious decision of angry, sad. And then if you choose angry, to go back to being, if you want to go down to being sad, you need to go back to being... Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I fall under that same category. So for me, some of my emotions are intrinsically linked. And I've been talking to my therapist about it a lot, and he's trying to figure out how that works, essentially. So for me, like if I feel anger or rage, I also feel joy at the exact same time. It's not like I'm swapping really quickly between the two. If I feel angry, I also feel joy, which is an extremely dangerous combination. Because I feel anger, therefore the anger starts happening, right? And then I feel joy with it. So, and when you feel joy, your brain gives you lots of dopamine. Right? So then I start pairing the rage and anger with a huge dopamine hit. Yeah, it is. It's a very large problem. And or I should say it was a very large problem. Rat bastard broke my... shelter. Yeah, it can lead to a very quick dopamine addiction, and it can lead to you being extremely violent. Oh, 110% it is. I think it is too. Second, guys. Went sideways on me. Okay, fixed it. The reason people think mental illness is quote unquote cool is because it makes them a special little snowflake, and a lot of people want to feel unique. A lot of people want to feel unique, but ironically they also want to fit in. So what accomplishes both of those things? Having a mental illness. You're unique enough because no one else has your specific brand of mental illness. However, you're also fitting in because you have a mental illness. No, and like that's the... Everyone says they have ADHD, so no one has ADHD. See, and here's the thing. ADHD is one of those things that I really dislike, because people, now that people, like, know what the symptoms are, they go, oh, I have ADHD because I display 2 or 3 of the symptoms. It's like, no, you don't. You really don't. Right, and here's the fun part. I'm pretty sure I personally was misdiagnosed, actually. So when I was diagnosed, when I was really little, they thought I had ADD, which, attention deficit disorder, is now considered, it's another form of ADHD. There's 2 different types of ADHD. Anyway, not the point. Point is, I think I was misdiagnosed because going to therapy more recently, I have talked to my therapist, and he constantly he made the joke. Well, not joke, he just made the observation. He was like, hey, have you ever, like, thought or considered or suspected that you, like, might be on the spectrum? And when he says the spectrum, he's talking about the autism spectrum. And I kind of laughed because that has been a running joke between me and my partner, as well as my larger friend group, for the longest time. Like, that has been a running joke for, like, years in my friend group. And it really truly is. It is a very large problem. Like, there are so many kids that probably have some form of autism, or, like, some, like, spectral, not spectral, but they're on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form. And they just don't, like, they just say, you have ADHD, and then they give you the meds for ADHD, and that doesn't help. Exactly, and like especially in the States, it's a much larger problem. And like that's the thing too, is like if you go to, say, like South Korea, how many people in South Korea are diagnosed with ADHD or autism? I bet a lot less. Because their government covers everything, so doctors don't need to try and make money by giving you prescriptions. The doctors are encouraged to properly diagnose. And, like, to me, that's the biggest problem. To me, that is the... Yeah, essentially. It's essentially math, yeah. Though there are different forms of it, I think there are some that are slightly... And I say that very, like... that are slightly better for you. I know that my little sister uses a... ADHD medication called Vyvanse. Oh, 110% they are. Okay, I just keep fucking losing my items. Get the fucking bullshit out of here, man. I don't need to worry about that. Hey, fucking stop it, you rat bastard. Oh yeah, no, there's a huge difference between like how ooh. Money equals power, baby. Yeah, fair. That's very true. Oh my god. Got a freaking blanket over my legs and it just keeps getting like wound up. Because I move my feet constantly when I play this game. So I just like slowly like fucking tie my legs up. Ooh! Little delirium. There are two sides to that coin, neither is good. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think one of the biggest problems with like all of like healthcare in general is the fact that it's trying to make money. Healthcare should be about like fixing people and helping them. Right? And I think a lot of that should be subsidized by the and it is. Like therapy. Therapy is one of those things that I definitely think should be just government funded, period. You should be able to walk in, say hi to a therapist, talk to them, you know, get to know them, like have them be your therapist, and just not need to pay for it. Like that should be part of our universal healthcare. The same way in Canada, the same way fucking dental should be. Did you guys know that? We have universal healthcare, but your dental doesn't count as healthcare. Someone explain that to me, please. Because I'm sorry, having a rotting tooth in your head can literally kill you. Just so you're aware. My friend. Bro, that's scary. Like, I don't even have a medical degree. I'm pretty sure I could probably do that better. Also, to be fair, though, the reason I could probably do that better is I have literally dissected people. So. I kind of know how we're put together. Mini Mush! Hey! Jesus Christ. Like, okay, here's something that I don't understand. Why are so many people, like, trying to, like, fake being nurses? Like, do nurses actually make that much money in the States? Jesus Christ. We have the exact opposite problem here in Canada. No one wants to be a nurse in Canada because you get paid such shit. Like, you get paid garbage numbers here. Like, seriously, you want to see, like, a really sad disparity? Go and look up how much a nurse makes in Go and look up how much a nurse makes in Saskatchewan, because it's different per province. Also, if you don't know how to spell Saskatchewan, just type S-A-S-K. That's the abbreviation for the province. Also, flat out, I'm just gonna... It's Saskatchewan, yeah. Thank you. Hard word, Lamau? Yeah, it is. Now imagine being 5 and needing to learn how to spell that word. This is gonna sound really bad, but I actually genuinely hope that the stock market doesn't crash right now, because I actually have a fair amount of money in that right now. I would really hate to lose that. To be fair, most of the money that I have in stocks is just dividend stocks. It's not something that's going to, like, absolutely kill me. You are a worthy sacrifice. Yeah, that's a lie. I will tell you right now, that is a fucking lie. I have a friend that's a nurse. She barely makes 50. Yeah. Technically. But I'm assuming some of that. But I'm assuming you still get paid, like, an allowance, or, like, you're on, like, retainer or something. If you're only making $4,800 you have to be making money from somewhere else. It's just not taxable. Explain, how is it not taxable? Ah. See, but that makes sense to me. Like, I'm a farm kid. Like, that's how you avoided taxes. Like, I don't think half of the employees that I know that worked on farms ever got paid, like, through a paycheck. Everyone just got paid in cash. Because in the end, it was cheaper for... Just northern farms. I'm more north than you, so yeah. But that's the thing, like true. Yeah, technically you do. I tend to buy my food and most of my stuff that I can in places where sales tax isn't a thing. Or the vendor eats the sales tax, which is a very common practice for small businesses here. Yeah, one of the most common small business practices is to, like... Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is, like, we do the same thing. Like, the amount of times that like, no money has technically changed hands between my parents and, like, other farmers around our lot. So, like, our neighbors were cattle farmers. They had huge amounts of cattle. And there was one year where they bought so many head that their fields physically couldn't feed the cattle. Like, they had so many cattle that their fields physically could not feed the amount of cattle that they had. So, they literally asked us, hey, rather than you guys haying your field this year, would you just literally let us put some of our cattle in your corral? My parents were like, yeah, sure, like, whatever. Basically free lawnmowers, right? And we ended up with a whole fucking cow in our freezer as payment. I don't know if you know anything about, like, meat prices in Canada. That's a lot of food. Like, they were like, yeah, that tracks. That's about roughly what we should give you, is a cow. I mean, I'll pick up Revelations and use it, because then I get a cube of meat. No. A cow would be closer to, like, for the amount. Maybe 2 weeks with my stomach. But see, here's the thing, though, is, like, my family didn't eat a lot of beef. My family still doesn't eat a lot of beef. We eat a lot more chicken and pork, just because it's cheaper. So that amount of beef lasted us, like, a whole year. Big Brother's watching! Ha! Get wrecked, son. So, keto. It's essentially keto. Would be my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be my understanding. But yeah, so it's really interesting because a lot of small vendors here in Canada, like anyone that like if you ever go to like a farmer's market in Canada, at least where I live in Canada, they will quite literally, the people selling the stuff will just eat the sales tax. Like, they just won't charge you the sales tax, and they'll have to pay it. because it makes more sense to do that, because then the people that are trying to buy things are more likely to buy stuff from you because it looks cheaper, essentially, because it's just a set number, like $20. The fuck hit me? Which is sad. Yeah, it's just a less deadly levy. Essentially, yes. It still sucks. Ooh, damage. I will bring down America. Sad part is that's basically already what's happening. Yeah, it's not America specifically that's the issue. It's the way that the government of America is run. Yeah, it's just a piece of land, and that's very true. And that's the biggest problem that I think a lot of people suffer from, is a lot of people don't differentiate between those two things. They don't differentiate between the governing body and the actual, like, place. Because the thing is most American citizens are also appalled by how America's run. So, like, that's the thing, too. Oh, I just fucking died. Alright, I'm gonna be right back, guys. I'm gonna go make myself some more coffee. And run to the washroom real quick. I will grab Sammy, though, so you guys can have a friend to chat to. Talk to them. Back and I have more coffee. Whoa. I came back to a full political discussion. Holy crap. As long as it's a discussion and not an argument, I'm okay with it. That's like my biggest thing is like I have no problem if people want to like talk about like what's going on in the world, but as soon as it starts to become an argument, I will shut it down. Yeah, and that's the thing. As long as people are civil and like you're just exchanging views, I have no problem with like what you guys talk about as long as it's not. There are some topics that I will tell people to like steer away from. But for the most part, yeah. Talk about what you guys want to talk about, just don't make it a problem, essentially. I mean, depending on the... well, and that's the thing, too, is, like, depending on the topic, it is really hard to be civil, depending on, like, where you're from, what you're dealing with, all that sort of stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Especially right now. But I think we talked about this before, too, though, is, like, I genuinely believe... I love gambling. But, like, I genuinely believe that a lot of problems in, like, wars and... fuck me. In, like, wars and everything, a lot of wars start either because of religion or because of wanting to just prove that you're superior. Agreed. It's very... you can be civil in terms of, like, almost any discussion. But you are right. Depending on who you're talking to. Oh, it is. It is crazy how like, generally useless the Geneva Convention actually is. Like, there's so many times that it just gets ignored. And war crimes go completely unpunished. It's Geneva's suggestion. It really is. And it's really sad. And being Canadian, I have a very, like, interesting perspective on the Geneva Convention in the first place. Because we learn about it a lot in high school and in history classes where I live. Because of, like, how fucked up a lot of Canadians were in World War I and World War II. Oh my god, this thing has so much health. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Canada was definitely a very successful war criminal in World War I and World War II, which is sad. We've just gaslit everyone into believing that we're the nice country. And we're really not. At least in terms of certain acts of warfare. I actually think it's why a lot of, like, the Canadian military's efforts have gone towards... yeah. And I think it's why a lot of the... yeah, humans are... that's the thing. Humans are not nice. Well, humans are also very tribalistic, so, like... Yeah, it's a suggestion, and it's really sad that it's true. Like, one of the biggest things that I think makes me really, really sad is, like, how often it's not followed. And then other times where, like, it'll get, like, absolutely shit on for no reason. Exactly. Well, it's like the joke of, like, remember, if someone tells you the government wouldn't do it, the government definitely has done it already and will continue to do it and will probably just pay someone else to do it. Like, fuck me. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, it's sad. I really, it does really make me sad. But if you guys want to, like, there was a really interesting video I watched on, like, warfare and tribalistic human society and how humans are still extremely tribal, even though we don't really, like, think about ourselves as being part of a tribe. We are still extremely tribalistic. I think it was done by CGP Grey. I can't remember the name of the video, but I'm very certain it was CGP Grey that did the video on, like, human tribalistic society and, like, how even now humans are extremely tribal. And it's what leads to a lot of disagreements and wars now. Because even way back then, like, if you boil it down, most of the time when people, like, ask you questions, they're trying to figure out whether you're part of their tribe or not. And if you're not part of their tribe, they immediately have a lower opinion of you. Right? Religion is a great example. That's just a tribe. It's just a tribe of people that believe one thing. Right? And they want to see if you believe the same thing, because if you believe the same thing, then they know that your values are going to be the same. But if you don't believe the same thing as they do, then your values are going to be different, and they need to have a differing opinion of you. They need to not like you, essentially. Christianity, I mean, to me personally, all the religions are funny in my... Hell, even the one I follow. Yes. Even the one I follow is, like, pretty well known for, like, murder and killing lots of people. Right? Like the running joke, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Also, yes, dolphins are assholes. Did you know that some dolphins, like, routinely get high by, like, rotting pufferfish and freaking them out until the pufferfish, like, starts releasing neurotoxin, and then the dolphins literally just, like, pass it around like a joint to get stoned off the neurotoxin? Fun fact. Like, one of the things that I like personally about, like, the religion I follow is it tends to just worship the earth itself, right? Like, it tends to be towards more of, like, natural things, i.e., like, you worship the way that the world works rather than anything else. Also, can I just say, I've been dodging like a fucking maniac. I always wonder how, like, half of the time my chat just turns into religious or political debates. It's really quite funny to me. Take the pills. As am I.
Luck down. X-lax.
No, it's true. Like, we talk about the most random shit. Honestly, I'm just gonna restart. We do talk about a lot of random stuff, which isn't bad. I prefer to have, like, intelligent conversation. I'd also... Strangely, you guys haven't really been here for a lot of the shit posting, but yeah, we definitely have that in chat too, especially when Panda's here. When Panda's here, there's a lot of shit posting. I feel like each stream we get on the topic of Christianity or Israel, and that just happens to be what people are talking about and what people think about. And I do try and set topics for that stuff, but we do always kind of find our way back to those two topics. I would like to continue talking about more sciences and, like, that sort of thing, just because that's what I enjoy talking about. But at the same time, you guys are chat, and you guys get... Oh my god, yes. A lost cause. What you're doing. Yeah, I'm still gonna try and do it. I did actually... So, more recently, I've been reading a book called The Children of Time. Very, very, very good book. It asks a lot of very philosophical questions that I find very, very intriguing, personally. Like, one of the things that, like, gets talked about a lot is, like, the human condition and, like, how the human condition, like, functions in, like, a bubble. So, like, one of the things that gets brought up a lot in this book is that, like, one of the main characters is essentially a historian, and they're on an arc ship. If anyone knows what an arc ship is, like, in terms of, like, space travel, essentially an arc ship is where they stuff a bunch of people into a ship, put them in cryosleep, and then shoot it off to wherever they want to go. Everyone stays asleep until they get to where they want to go. Once they get to where they want to go, they wake up, they go about their thing. But it talks about how, like, the key crew, so the people that actually need to make sure that the ship stays running, i.e. the head engineer, the pilot, the main, like, security guy, and the historian. Will randomly kind of get woken up throughout the journey to make sure things are still running smoothly, they're still on course. If they find some, like, really old technology from, like, the old empire of humanity before the collapse and ice age, and, like, humanity reclawing itself back to space, that's when the historian gets woke up, because he knows about that shit, and they need to figure out how to, like, deal with it. But it talks about how this historian, right, he doesn't get woken up as much as everybody else. And he starts out as what they nominally call the oldest man in the universe. He's like 35 or some shit. And everyone else going on an arc ship is going to be pretty young, right? Because if you want to restart humanity on a different planet, you need young people. You don't need old people, right? And one of the things that gets brought up a whole bunch is that he has a love interest. I have not, but humor me for 1 second. I'm going to finish this thought process, and then you guys can chat about it, or you can talk about whatever else. But essentially, he has a love interest. Yeah, exactly. But he has a love interest, the head engineer, and the head engineer gets woken up a lot more than he does to make sure that the ship stays running. So he starts out at being, like, almost, like, 10 years older than her. And throughout the course of the story, yeah, essentially that's what we're talking about. But throughout the course of the story, she starts catching up to him in physical age. Right? So it kind of like asks the question, and like shit happens, and I don't want to spoil the story, right? But basically the historian kind of like marvels at the fact that he both knows all the history of like old Earth, but he also lives through like an entire civilization of people on this Ark ship, and he just gets woken up sporadically to essentially view the civilization and go, holy shit, like, I am part of your people's history. Like, I am part of like, their history. Like, it's a really philosophical book. It's very, very intriguing, though. If you ever want to, like, listen to or read it, it also dives a lot into, like, genetics and, like, natural selection and how we could, like, theoretically, like, uplift a species, a different species. It's really, really, really fascinating. I highly recommend the series. It's the Children of Time, the Children of Memory, and the Children of Ruin. Oh yeah, you can, in theory, do that. But the problem is, like, autonomic function is also a thing. So, like, you can, in theory, freeze an embryo or... How long would you have to live? Oh, only, like... You'd only have to live through about 10 generations. Not even. You'd need to live through... I think you'd need to live through about 4 generations of people. And, like, you yourself wouldn't even need to live through 4 generations of people. Just your legend would need to live through 4 or 5 generations of people. That's the thing. If you do something that would be quote-unquote considered legendary, you quite oh my god, I forgot that that guy can turn into greed every once in a while. I might just flat out die here. Unless I can just get up here, yeah. Woo! But, like, that's the thing, too, is, like, that's why religion is so funny. Is because it's based on belief. It's just based on, you know, what you believe. It's not based on, like, a scientific fact. Right? So it's one of those very, like, odd, awkward things. To me, at least. I don't know. This game has the most unserious community ever. I don't know what I put in chat's water. It just happens, okay? See, and it's really funny too, because if I get Panda or like Gymnast in here, it's 90% shitposts and bullying me, which is just funny as well. Oh my god, Halo. There's a chance. But yeah, I really think was a video game community supposed to be a serious thing? Sometimes. Fun and competition. I agree. Also, I love that I just have a fucking railgun that I can hit Dingle from a mile away with. Very, very satisfying. Oh. Because I need more range. We'll see. I cannot take either of those things. I'm going to pick this one up. Wait a... Hello! Lagno. I think this is more worth it, actually. I can just take Devil Deal. You may or may not have walked into a relatively serious discussion. Apologies on that one. Satanic Bible is very good on Lost. That is very, very true. Yeah, if I can not, you know, get hit. Wait, I can just sit over Rip Run. I know it's over. Why is the run over? No, it doesn't. It makes it so... You basically just get permanent Devil Deals. Oh, good. That's like... What mark are you going for, by the way? All of them. I have no marks for Lost. Probably Satan, if I feel good about it. This specific one that I'm going for is I'm going to try and go for not Mega Satan, but like Satan and the Lamb. I always like trying to do the more challenging bosses first and get them out of the way. That's fucking useless. Alright, well, off to the boss we go. I'd really like to get, like, Sword of Damocles. Like, please and thank you. Yes, it's called Book of Belial. Whoa! The irony is both of them have very religious iconography. What a surprise! In a game about religion. Translation probably brained me. I don't want to pick that up. Or do I want to pick it up? Chat, Am I able to pick this up, or does that just fucking kill me immediately? Well, yeah, because you're Norwegian, aren't you? Ursa? He needs to take away red HP, yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure it needs to take away red HP for it to work. Norwegian born, Icelandic raised. I would have thought that you'd have spoken Icelandic. Or maybe that is Icelandic. I don't know. I'm relatively ignorant on that stuff. Icelandic was my second. Norent Mall is just way older. Okay. It's the equivalent of me speaking Old English. I'm assuming you play a fair amount of this game, Lega? I've unlocked it a fair few tainted characters on my file, yes. I haven't played any of them, because my goal was to basically beat all the standard characters first. Before trying to do any of the tainted characters. I wanted to try and do it in as close to like an order as possible. Drugs. Ooh, that's bad.
Luck.
That's the way I did it, and it helped me doing it that way. That's fair. Also, hello again, Isaac. I like how you just, like, pop in and out, Isaac. You're just here, and then you're not. And then you're here, and then you're not. Well, see, the reason I'm doing it in order is because when I started this, I'm always watching. When I started this save file, I started it over completely because I hadn't played. I just plead the 5th a lot of the time. Ah. So when I first started this save file was when... Ooh, fuck. God fucking damn it. That was so bad. So, Ursa, if you type !lurk in chat... Oh, fuck yeah. There you go. Could you please stop summoning fucking bombs? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so like my biggest goal with this is to just try and go through all the characters in order because I've never played a lot of them before. And it had been like 4 or 5 years since I had last played the game. So I decided it was probably a good idea to just like familiarize myself with the game again. And play through like the base content first. Man, Spill Your Guts is actually pretty good. Muted but here. Hello, Moonglow!
Spades. 2.
Hell Panda, I say hi to.
Where's my hug at?
Get
Where's my hug
fucked. I'll go grab him. I'm coming for you, Moonglow. Yeah, for those of you who are new, now I need to try and play with this giant fucker on my lap. Which you'd think isn't that difficult, but it is. He's heavy, and he takes up a lot of space. Also, tomorrow it is, a raccoon day. Talk to you later. Yeah, I've seen those. They're like a Costco bear. My sister-in-law has one. They're fucking massive. Ooh. I'll re-roll that again. Like, Mr. Mega's nice, but I've genuinely killed myself a couple times with him. Like, just because he's so big. Do I risk the Libra? Yeah, fuck it, let's risk the Libra. Because there are certain builds where Libra can become very, very broken. And if I get it early enough in the game, I might just die, but Wait, I can just, like, chill out here. He's just taking damage from my guts. Okay, so do I take the Devil Deal? I know Devil Deals make more sense for me, but I feel like Angel Deals have a lot more all stats up. And I do need to try and get to Mega Satan. Just gotta pray you get Brim. Yeah, that or, what's the, Trisagion is the, Angel Deal version of that. You gotta believe. I do want to get, to... You know what, we're gonna try for Mega Satan this time, so we're gonna skip out on the Devil Deals. What does Pandora's box give me? I'm gonna... Oh my god, yes. I'm not mad about either of those. Both of those were fucking amazing. Either way, Trisagion is like, honestly, I like it more than Brimstone. Which I'm sure is just absolutely blasphemous to say. That's more damage. Holy fuck, how am I still alive? Damn it! I didn't have a teleport out, otherwise I would have used it. Yeah, the cross leeches suck. I also dislike... We're Mother and Ultra Greedier. That doesn't surprise me at all. Ultra Greedier seems like it would both be very difficult and, like, super easy, just depending on, like, what build you got. Because I find Greedier is, like, the easiest mode to break. Like, it's super easy to break. My god, this guy spawns way too many flies. Yeah, I'm just fucking dead here. I'm gonna die to, like, the simplest boss ever. Because I don't have the damage to deal with the... D20 got reworked? What about D20 got reworked? I genuinely don't know. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, I didn't even know that. I mean, you can still break it. To be fair, though, there's other ways to break it, too. Yara blank rune. Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like Greed mode and Greedier mode are one of those ones that they're just kind of like a fun game mode because... they're much easier to break than the actual game. I don't want ramming speed. Yeah, because that will also matter. Because I'm still playing on just Repentance. Cool. Good to know. Yeah. Ooh. That's really tempting to take Diplo. I think I'm gonna take it. Ooh, but I should re-roll that item first. Oh, fuck, but I can't. Yeah, we're just gonna take Diplo. We can re-roll items after. Wish Diplo had come on the Devil Deal one, because then I could have double dipped on the Devil Deal. You fucking stop that. Please just die, 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 please just die. Thank you. Really? Good. There's the battery. All of them except Lost and Keeper. Okay. God damn. That coffee is still super hot. Ow. God damn, I love coffee. Wow, okay. Just dead. Get fucked, Keith. Just done. Man, what is with the absolute dog water items I'm getting? Yeah, that's the hope. I'm hoping, because, like, that's the thing. I play this game for fun. I'm not trying to, like, be, like, an absolute fucking masochist. And, like, everyone in chat can agree with this. There are times that I've 110% cheated. Because I want to play the game and have fun. I don't want to, like, deal with a bunch of bullshit. Like, one of the biggest ones is, like, Jacob and Esau. I did Jacob and Esau on one of my save files. I did it legitimately. So every other file, I was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna play... Sorry, 1 second. I need to answer this, guys. Yeah, so, like, I did Jacob and Esau, like, legitimately, and then I just gave them a bunch of, like, bullshit items at the beginning of a run. And said, fuck it. Because I did not want to deal with that again. I didn't want to deal with that pain and that heartache. I'll do the Lost because the Lost is, I find, generally... I find the Lost generally entertaining, at the very least. I don't love the character, admittedly. No, I can just give myself items. I've got a mod that allows me to just give items and take items away. And I chose to do that because I'd rather, like, so originally I downloaded the mod simply because every once in a while you'll get Curse of the Blind and you'll pick up, like, Cursed Eye or something. You'll pick up something that just, like, ends your run. It just makes your run no longer any fun. And I just wanted something so I could just edit what I had in my inventory. Right? Like, if I picked up Cursed Eye, rather than, you know, getting rid of the whole fucking rigmarole. Yeah, and, like, that's the thing, too, is, like, I try to play it for fun. That, too. I think the only people that really, really care would be, like... Yeah, it's one thing to cheat and ruin another person's experience. Like, if you're playing, like, a multiplayer game and you're cheating, I have zero respect. But if you're playing a single-player game just for fun, and you decide, hey, I'm gonna cheat a little bit so I can, like... Yeah, and, like, that's the thing, too, is, like, mods are technically cheating. It doesn't matter what type of mod. Like... Sorry, just concentrating real quick. I've never gotten Tiny Toma, so I don't actually know what it does. What's a trip mod? Fuck off. This is genuinely why I hate Baby Plum. What the fuck killed me? Ah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I have 30 minutes to try and beat this. Or do I save this for another day? No, I don't. Because I've got to leave. No, I'm going to save this for another day. I'm going to keep this item and I'm going to start out with it. You guys can at least remember that I'm starting with it because I got it from in here. But I have to be done because I have to go to work. So I'm going to go drop you guys off to a different stream. I'm going to go raid out. And thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having a triple person stream. Me, Panda Maxi, and Moonglow System are all playing Don't Starve together. So get ready for that chaos. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Toodaloo.